my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot. It's your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. Today we are going to ask for special messages from your ancestors, which the ancestors have been very present in a lot of my readings here lately, and they asked for a pick a card for them to come through and give longer detailed messages to you, the viewer. So I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey and to be a part of this ever-growing tribe. I'm so honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we are all here sharing this human experience and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. If this reading should happen to resonate with you, it means so much if you would leave me a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. And if you are looking to support the channel and further, you'll find all those links below in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member. I would so love to see you on memberships. But if not, thank you so much for your continued support here. And with that, let's go ahead and get started with your prayer. And we'll get this underway. Okay, my beloved source and ancestors of highest light and love, I ask that you come through clearly today on this message and guide us as you're asking to be heard. You're saying that you have something that needs to be channeled, and I ask that you help me be the clear channel so that that message can fall upon the hearts of those that you're asking to come forth. I pray that you are always guiding us on this journey, that you are always opening up our hearts, our minds, our ears, our eyes, so that we can hear clearly, see clearly, feel clearly, and know clearly what it is that is meant for us, so that we can courageously and boldly take steps forward. And may you always be the backing behind us to help us face and overcome the fears that might hold us back or cause us to pause in hesitation. I ask clearly that you help plant the seeds that are necessary for us to become the mighty oak forest that you've asked us to become, knowing that this is a lifelong journey. There is no true end destination. There is only a series of events that come, whether they are fortunate or unfortunate, they make up that which is called our lives. May you help us understand this clearly. May you help us open up to this truth, and may you help us always as we move forward, healing the lineage, healing ourselves, and healing that which is to come in this realm. As these words are spoken unto this space and onto this reading, so shall they be. Amen, aho, asay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source and beloved ancestors of highest light and love. Thank you so much. And of course, as I started saying amen, it was 3:33 on the clock. So I love that we've already got confirmation coming through here. But let's just get into this. So for pile number 1, we do have this beautiful piece of amethyst for you to choose from. For pile number 2, we have this is a beautiful shell that I got in Corpus Christi. And for pile number 3, this beautiful piece of lapis lazuli. See if I can get it to focus here. So choose your deck. We're doing this a little bit different today. You have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Whichever deck or whichever stone you felt most drawn to, that should be the pile for you. And with that being said, I will see you over on your chosen pile. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of amethyst, or if you were drawn to this tarot deck here, this is going to be a reading on special messages from your ancestors. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey, to continue showing up in this ever-growing tribe. I'm so honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space for you to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. So with that being said, should this happen to resonate, it means so much if you left me a thumbs up, commented, and subscribed down below. But with that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what your ancestors would like to tell you. Okay, so ancestors of highest light and love, what are the special messages that you have for pile number 1? Ancestors of highest light and love, what are the special messages that you have for pile number 1? What would you like to say here? Ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 1? A lot of movement here. Okay, so we've got the 4th house, Capricorn, and the moon. So the mother and the father of the zodiac, this could absolutely be a mother or father coming through. Or likewise, an energy that is very balanced between masculine and feminine energy. Someone who was capable of taking very directive, decisive action, but equally so who was very loving and kind and caring and nurturing when needed to be. So it's like, I hear that song, Daddy's hands were soft and kind when I was crying. Daddy's hands were hard as steel when I done wrong. So like, it could be a dad. Okay, it could be a dad, but that energy, that they were soft and kind when you were upset. So this is someone from your life, or someone who's been there with you for your entire life on this journey, okay? They're here to tell you that we're wanting you to look really deeply at your family roots here, to really delve into the darkness and the depths of how you feel, or how you have felt in growing up in the situation that you grew up in. It was not easy. There are a lot of blocks and barriers that have actually come up from that. A lot of cynicism that came up from the place that you grew up in. So maybe you had some very harsh parenting in your life, or you had some very harsh situations that arose in your childhood here. But they really want you to focus on the depth of the emotion that's coming from that, because there's something that's unconsciously guiding you here, or making you react to certain situations that you're maybe not quite aware of. And the only way to become aware of that is for you to be willing to open up to seeing yourself in the mirror. Like, what am I acting to? What am I reacting to? What am I responding to? Like, where am I completely conscious of myself, and where am I seeing triggers that are coming out that I'm not so conscious of, but I would benefit from looking at? And your ancestors do want to mention that. They know that you're hardworking. They know that you're dedicated. They know that you are an incredibly strong individual. Like, you never give up. You're very persistent and determined to get to where you're going, but sometimes you may be completely disconnected from your emotional well-being because of being so focused on this physical world, especially with Capricorn energy right at the middle. Sometimes Capricorns can be so focused, and that's really any earth sign, but Capricorns especially, they can be so focused on the material world that they are incapable of really connecting with their emotions unless they actually consciously choose to stop and to look at that. And if I remember correctly, I believe that the moon is debilitated in Capricorn energy. And so if it's debilitated, that's something that's difficult, right? That's something that's very difficult. And you have moon energy on either side of Capricorn here, a 4th house connecting to Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. And so you have this debilitation on either side, and it's almost like there's this, I feel like blinders, like they're showing me like something covering the eyes here, but it's more like covering the heart. Like it's almost like armor, but it's more like blinders, like set in the way. Like we're not seeing anything except for this is what I desire in life and nothing else matters. And they're saying that that is such a powerful energy that you have behind you that is guiding you towards what you want. However, in order for you to truly manifest that here in this physical realm, which we know you are capable of, we need you to also look at the blockages that may be continuing to divert you from bringing that in right now at this time. And so the ancestors, I forgot I put it on this side. They want you to take a different route, right? They want you to try something different. That could be shadow work. It could be slowing down. It could be taking a break. And I know a lot of those things are scary if it's not something, wow, I've got the hiccups here. Yeah, taking a break was something that was real. If it's not something that you're used to doing, right? Like if you're just constantly on the go so that you don't have to feel those emotions, which sometimes we do, and then what happens is that it becomes such a automated response that we don't actually realize we're doing it anymore, because now that's just who we are. We've put ourselves on autopilot, and remembering that that is a part of the emotional ego, right? Trying to survive. It's trying to protect itself. It's trying to defend itself here from those hurts and those pains that you experienced when you were younger. But recognizing that you're no longer in those experiences anymore, that you're somewhere else entirely, and you are safe, and you're here as the protector in your life right now because you're grown. You know, you're not looking to someone else to save you. And maybe that's what they want you to look at is, are you looking for someone else to save you from your circumstances? And if that's the case, like, where does that stem from? And it's going to be different for everyone, right? But this is what they want you to focus on. So ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 1? What special messages do you have for pile number 1? Can you tell us more about this? What messages do you have for pile number 1? And I feel like this does directly correlate to your success as well. So ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 1? Thank you. Okay, ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 1? What special messages do you have for pile number 1? Whoa, thank you. Okay. And we'll get one more. Okay, ancestors of highest light and love, what special messages do you have for pile number 1? One more card here. Whoa, just one. That's too many. I'm going to put those back. What messages do you have for pile number 1? Thank you. Okay, on the bottom of the deck, we have the 5 of Cups. It's important for you to network. I feel like networking is going to help you actually bring those triggers to the surface, right? Sometimes we have to actually be in the presence of other people in order to understand that, right? To mirror ourselves. Didn't I say that earlier, to look in the mirror? And then we have here with the 2 of Wands, like she's like looking in the mirror, and it's like seeing both sides of herself, right? You could argue that this is a twin, but it's really just seeing into the reality through the mirror, right? It's not really any different. That's something that's inside of us. It's a very internal thing for us to look inwardly. But in order for us to actually do that, sometimes we do have to network. Sometimes we do have to connect with people, knowing that sometimes people are going to disappoint us, but it's those triggers that we get from those disappointments that can actually help us grow. There's only so much that we can do alone, right? We can dig deep, we can dig deep, we can dig deep, but if we never have a trigger again, because we've done so much internal work, then we aren't finding out what it is. And for you, it might just be that you've done a lot of healing, but you also have really secluded yourself because of that healing. And sometimes that's something that happens along the way. Yeah, and they're watching you and they're seeing you learn, they're seeing you gain knowledge, they're seeing you gain wisdom here. But they want you to see that there is something else that you need to pour into here to have even a further victory in your life, right? So they want you to grow. What's peaking here? The King of Cups. Like, and we're talking about emotional well-being. You don't get more emotionally stable than the King of Cups. Like, that's someone who is very emotionally mature. He's emotionally stable. He knows himself inside and out. He's gained the wisdom of a lifetime. And here you have it as a woman who's trying to pull away from those little, these are just like little things, right? This has nothing to do with what you've overcome, but these are just little things that maybe you've just buried so deep that you're not aware of. They're there, right? So let's see what else they want to say here. Oh yeah, we have the Ace of Coins. We have Judgment. Yep. The Four of Swords. Okay. And the Knight of Wands. Right away, right off the bat, we have this new beginning that's coming once you recognize the family turmoil here with Judgment. What's come from the past? What is it that has made you become the beautiful flower that you are here, right? Like, this is very, very symbolic, but also seeing that you're stuck in the middle of this maze. And again, this idea that something small holds the key to your freedom. So your ancestors want you to know that you are breaking free and that we're bringing a gift. But isn't that what I said earlier, that your finances, your career is actually directly related to healing this part of yourself? So it's like some sort of blockage that's coming in here that's keeping you from manifesting exactly what you want here. And it's interesting because here she's in a crib. So again, pointing towards when you were a young child, right? Seeing it through eyes of prosperity here with this fish. Fish represent prosperity, or the ability to feed the many, right? Teach a man to fish, you'll feed him for life. Fish for a man, you'll feed him once, right? So there's this energy of like prosperity when you think about that. And recognizing that sometimes the things that we think are ugly or harsh or difficult in our lives can actually turn into something quite beautiful and quite profound for us on our journey. And moving away from that energy is something that's very important here with the Knight of Wands. So, but you have to run towards it first. Look, and you're the one that's going to save yourself here. Okay? You're the one that's going to find the sweetness in the misery is what I'm hearing. It's like this energy of you bringing a sense of yourself back to yourself. So what was once fragmented, they want you to bring back what was once fragmented, what was once lost, what you had to leave behind due to the trauma that was incurred, right? Anytime we receive a trauma in life, we leave a part of ourselves there. So it's like, if just an example here, see you were 4 years old and you did something and your parents used a belt on you as discipline. And I know everybody has this, but you know, me personally growing up, the belt was a thing. It's not that we enjoyed it. It was just a thing. It's not my parents were trying to abuse us. It was really just trying to teach us a lesson. Or you might have heard like the switch. Go get a switch and I'll beat you with a switch. Okay, and just hang with me here. So it's like, say you were 4 and your parents used a belt on you and they didn't hit you hard, right? Like they didn't leave a mark or anything. It was really just more about like, you know, they say that, oh, this is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. And then they hit you with the belt and it just like really traumatized you, because that's scary, right? Being so young and having something so traumatic happen. Well, at that moment in time, your 4-year-old self-ego said, okay, nope, we're not ever going to experience this again. And even if we do experience this again, we're always going to show up as ourselves in this moment. So it's a fragment of yourself that is left behind because your soul is saying we can't grow beyond this. We can't, because that's something that's traumatic to us. We stopped developing at that age. And so we saw the King of Cups coming out, and it's saying we're trying to heal that. So the ancestors are really pointing towards this, and judgment can really point towards, family secrets that are being revealed. 1441 on the clock. And so it's like they're gifting you this opportunity to find the key to your heart, to free yourself from something that happened when you were young, so that you can move like so fast into something that is meant for you. So you've been building something, you've been creating something, you've been changing something in your life. And the only way to get there and to bring it into this physical realm is to heal this part of your heart. And we're thinking about it. There are a lot of different beliefs on the manifestation journey, and a lot of people you just leave the past in the past. But sometimes the trauma that we incurred in the past, we actually have to go through, right? It's not something that we're capable of just leaving behind and saying, well, whatever, it just happened. There are some people who can, but a lot of people have to go through that trauma so that they can let go of the fragmented self and know that they are whole in this moment. And that's what it really feels like here. It's like you've been trying to let go. You've been trying to leave it, but it's like there's still this one thing that happens when you connect with people that triggers you in a certain way, and you can't figure out, it's like, why am I getting triggered? Why am I getting triggered? And it's like you're trying to pull back the layers, right? You're trying to pull back these layers and understand oh, that's what's going on. But really at the core of it is you. It's the core that was left behind at this trauma. And I'm going to say the trauma happened between the ages of 4 and 10. That's really what I'm feeling here. I was really young. Really, really young. It could even be between the ages of 4 and 6, very much in those more impressionable years. And again, it's not because your parents were trying to be abusive, and maybe you did have abusive parents, in which I'm so sorry if that's the case. It's remembering that our parents always did try to do the best that they could with what they knew how. And this is something I've said many times. It's if they knew how to do something different, then they would have. Right? But not always do they have that opportunity. So they're just bringing whatever they were brought up in to this new family situation, and they're trying to make it their own. And they usually do, but making it their own doesn't mean that they're coming from a healed state. Right? And so hurt people, even unintentionally will hurt people if we're unhealed. And I feel like that's something to remind yourself here. It's look, this was how it was in the past. I can't change what it is, but it doesn't mean that I cannot look at why I'm getting triggered in a certain way when I'm inviting certain people in. What are they mirroring back to me that's making me feel so isolated here, that my guides and my ancestors are trying to show me here, right? They're blending in. They're trying to help you heal this. And if you look at this, interesting, right? Look at her tail. It's almost identical to this wallpaper and this lizard, this gecko up here. And so what that's telling me is that the ancestors are showing you that this is something that's been going on in your generations. It's not just you that suffered from this, but it's oftentimes your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and on down the line. And while it's definitely changed throughout time, as it would naturally, it's still a core memory that sticks with each one of the generations, and you get the opportunity to relieve your soul and your DNA and your genetic well-being from this, so that you can change the setup for if you choose to have kids. And if you don't, you're going to change the setup for others who have been through similar situations like what you've been through. And so that's what they really want to focus on, is this healing that's coming through here. They want you to find a foundation in trusting the process and having faith that you are strong enough to get to this, that you are strong enough to do this. And I love that we have yin energy coming out here with Taurus, Cancer, Scorpio, Capricorn, Virgo, and Pisces energy with intuition, trust, patience, spirituality, and receptivity. And yin energy is also that energy of taking a break. slowing down, letting things come to you. Like, I feel like this is why you don't slow down. It's like, as long as I'm on the go, I don't have to feel the trauma and the hurt, and I don't have to sit with my thoughts. And they want you to sit with your thoughts. And again, friends, like-minded groups, and humanitarian beliefs, like, you're helping so many people, but when you're not healing this part of yourself, you're actually doing everyone and yourself, mostly yourself, a huge disservice, because you're not allowing yourself to be free from the past. And your ancestors know how incredible you truly are and how much you have to bring. And they want you to be able to be free from that. Like, it's like they're trying to help you here. We have Saturn up here. Saturn is being the planet of tough love, the planet of sacrifice, and the moon. We have Capricorn as Saturn energy, the moon twice here. So you have the moon coming out 3 times, showing the shine, the light in the dark. This is a shadow aspect that's coming through here. We have this sense of transformation that's coming through, and allowing yourself to really see who you are in spite of the shadow that resides there. They're saying you're still beautiful, you're still handsome, you're still incredible, you're still an amazing individual, because guess what? Everybody has the shadow. But when you unite these two aspects, and this is very symbolic in this picture too, the light and the dark aspects of yourself, you recognize that you've been whole all along. Look at how they complete each other with the wings here. They complete one another, right? And so there's nothing that's keeping you from making yourself feel whole, except for this constant action that I'm feeling here. We have the reputable. I live my life as if my guardian angels are watching over me. I love this message, because this is like your ancestors coming in, reminding you that we're here with you every step of the way, helping you heal from the hardships, helping you to overcome those hardships. And also with yin energy is the moon energy, right? And again, the moon coming out again, this is about going into the shadow. You know, we talk about the dark feminine, and I haven't really brought that up too much on the channel, but the dark feminine is such a powerful way for us to heal. And it sounds weird, right? It's like, oh my gosh, the dark feminine. But it's the dark feminine is just understanding that without the darkness, the light cannot exist. And equally so, without the light, the darkness could not exist. So if we got rid of either aspect, everything that we know it would cease to exist. Everything. One is not more powerful than the other. However, without having access to one in life right now, you're not accessing the whole of your being. And that's what they're saying. It's like you're very clever, and you're very capable of residing in the yang energy, the sun energy, the forward motion energy. But coming into the yin energy feels very foreign to you, because it's easier just to keep going, to keep going, to keep going. And I met so many people who've been in this energy where it's like, if I slow down, then that means I actually have to grieve. And I don't want to grieve, because that's a difficult thing. Well, my question here is that if you continue going at the pace that you're going and burnout happens, what happens when burnout happens? Not only have you waited so long to focus on this part of your healing, now you're emotionally, mentally, physically, and energetically exhausted. It's going to come pouring in, and you're not going to have any, walls to hold back. If you choose to do it now, at least you're conscious, and you can just let in a little bit at a time, rather than waiting for everything to come flooding in and to really overwhelm you. And we have the confident. I honor all I have done to make me who I am today. Okay? Yeah, you should honor yourself. Again, you're being watched out for here, but it does feel like they're trying to tug you into another direction here. Like they really want you to focus on this aspect of your healing, because there's something profound that's coming through here for you, and that will help you manifest the next part of your journey. Okay, they want that one. But there's the fear. Yeah, with hyena and fear coming through. There's the fear here. It's like if my legs okay, so I had my uncle tell me this story once. He's worked on a farm all his life, and one time there was a bull that was running after him, and he's like, my brain was telling my legs to move, but my legs weren't moving. Okay, so right now it's like your legs are telling your brain to move, but your brain is just not responding because it's the wrong way around. Right? And that's what it feels like here. And it's just, to share that story, it's just, that's what it is. It's like you were really trying to, and it's like you're just stuck in a fear, a deer in the headlight look. It's like, as long as I'm moving, then I don't have to actually acknowledge that I'm in that fear energy. And your ancestors are saying, like, it's starting to catch up with you here. And when it catches up with you, it's not going to be pretty. I mean, there's nothing enjoyable about when that tumbles down on top of you and begins to rain. Right? There's nothing enjoyable about that. But look, we're trying to help you find freedom. We're trying to help you relieve yourself of this so that you can run through the door and actually receive in your life what you want to receive. But it's going to take a lot from you to transform your energy here by consciously showing up. And I feel like once you get into it, you're going to recognize that it's actually not as hard as, as our ego makes it out to be. Our ego really is resistant to a lot of change, right? Like, no. I've done things this way for 30 some years. I am not changing today, or however old you are, right? You just think about it. It's like if you were 4, so it could be 20 years. It could be 70 years. Who knows? Like, an array of people who watch these videos, but you just have to think about it. It's like, hey, I get it. I know you're afraid, but you got me. I've got your back. And when your ego goes on and says, well, yeah, but, it's always going to say, yeah, but, and you just sit with that and you say, you know what, that's so valid. And I'm here with you. I'm here experiencing this with you. And we're together. You're not alone anymore. Like we were when we had this situation happen, and you were there to protect me. But guess what? Now I'm here to protect you. And it's important for you to ground. But look, I love this image because as below, so above, as within, so without. Okay, so this is that message of reconnecting with your grounded roots and really getting back together with your strength here, knowing that you are capable of re-blossoming what you are in this outer realm, right? Because you're healing those internal wounds, you're healing those internal hurts, and they want you to recognize just how incredibly strong you are. Let's take a look at the shadow aspect that's coming through here. Ancestors of highest light and love, thank you. Yeah. Leaving. We have leaving. You've taken it as far as it can go this time around. Walking away is the best you can do. And I feel like that's what they're saying. You have to walk away from constantly keeping yourself on the go here. We had pieces fly out. You always pick up the pieces when things fall apart. Now look for the complete package. And again, this goes back to confirmation. What I was feeling earlier is that feeling like you're fragmented, but going back and looking at yourself and recognizing that you're actually this whole being. You're complete as you are. Finding your power here. They really want you to lean into this. And I love that lightning came out on your reading talking about duality. Without lightning, there is no thunder. And that's what I was talking about the light and the dark aspects here. It's like without one, the other ceases to exist. And sometimes it causes a lot of turmoil and chaos and hurt and pain in our lives. But through that, we build resiliency, and spiritually we grow strong because we begin to understand, okay, this is what I don't want. So how do I change myself to become the person to recognize and draw in what I do want? And we have secrets. This is interesting that this would come out here. So this is also pointing towards, this is not something that is well known. This could be something that you are going out of your way to keep secret or hidden from yourself. Okay, this is something that is under the surface that is really, really difficult for you to deal with. It could be very, very triggering. Okay, but what they're saying here is to trust the process as you begin to unwind yourself, to pull back the layers. There's something beneath there that when you let them free, you're going to feel a lot better about where you are and how far you've come on your journey. And your ancestors don't want you to stay stuck in this. And so I love that number 2 came out with this lightning and power, because 2 is also the number of duality, right? It's also the number connected to the Popes. And it's all about, trusting in this process that we need both aspects to be seen as a whole being. And as a human, we cannot experience happiness without sadness. We wouldn't know what joy is without sorrow. And that's what they're saying. Like, that's just a part of our journey, to feel and experience both sides of the whole. Okay? So pile number 1, this is what I see for you here, what your ancestors would love to tell you. If this resonates with you and you feel like this is your message, leave a little puzzle piece emoji down below and say, I reclaim my power by understanding the dualistic nature that lives within me. And it would mean so much if you were to leave a thumbs up, to comment, and to subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links below in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. And you can even become a member of the channel. And I would love to see you on memberships, but if not, thank you for your continued support here. I'm going to go ahead and leave that there and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank the ancestors of highest light and love, for Source, and for my own spirit guides coming together to give us this amazing message. And until next time, pile number 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful seashell, or if you were drawn to this deck, then this is going to be your reading on special messages from your ancestors. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that has been a supportive part of this journey and continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm so honored to be sharing this time in this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we are all here sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And if this should happen to resonate with you, it means so much if you left me a thumbs up, commented, and subscribed to the channel. So with that being said, let's hop to it and find out what are the special messages that the ancestors of highest light and love have for pile number 2. Ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for my fellow humans on pile number 2? Ancestors of highest light and love, what special messages do you have for pile number 2? Okay, so we've got Aries, North Node, and the 5th house. So you could have Aries, Leo, North Node, or South Node energy. You could have Libra, I heard really loudly for some reason. So let's go with it and find out what's going on here. It does look like they're asking you to really incorporate play into your life, that you're a leader. Okay, first of all, they want you to know that they see how much of a leader that you are, but to incorporate more play, to incorporate more pleasure, this is going to help with your confidence. This is going to help with how you're feeling. This is going to help with you just in general feeling like you have control in your life as well. Because it does seem like you've actually had problems or issues, I should say. And this is not... They're not calling you out. They're just saying that they've acknowledged that you have acknowledged this part of you. Maybe you wanted to control how things happened. And please don't feel alone. That is something I feel like every one of us go through, but that's what they're pointing out here, is that before you have had, and that was the South Node energy, has had this energy of like wanting to control every step of the outcome. Like, I have to know how A moves to B, moves to C, moves to D, and so on and so on and so forth. And if I don't know that, then I feel like I've failed. And they're proud of you because it looks like you've let that go. But through that process of having that energy, there's this feeling of becoming overtly serious about the journey and like, okay, I'm willing to trust, I'm willing to have faith, I'm willing to let go of the outcome and open up to what can be. But it's almost like you've forgotten that part of that is to romanticize your life and to really open up to the sacral chakra here and let yourself be that goofy, fun-loving, silly self that you used to be as a kid, or maybe that you might not remember that, right? You might not remember how you were when you were a kid, but I do feel like naturally you're a goofy person, especially with Leo energy and Aries energy, someone who's not afraid to be goofy out in public. But what I'm getting is like the shyness here. It's like, yeah, but people are going to judge me, or people are going to think this about me, or people aren't going to take me seriously if I'm like that. And they're like, pish posh, get out of that. That's not something that matters, nor should it. And that's going back to that old South Node energy here. You're already moved up into your North Node. They want you to know they're so proud of you here. They see you becoming a better version of yourself each and every day. They see you doing what it takes, but they see you as a leader among leaders. Like, that is next level here. But the main energy that's coming through here is like, we want to see you have fun. Because to have fun means that you're enjoying the process, not just trusting it, but we want you to enjoy the process as well. And they're pointing out that this is very uncomfortable. This is something that's very like, it's just different. It's almost like, well, but I've been adulting for so long. And they're like, yeah, but adulting shouldn't mean that we let go of the inner child either, right? And that's part of us healing the inner child wound, is allowing our inner child to just be that silly, fun-loving, not a care in the world, free spirit that it is. That's not separate from us, but because we're so busy adulting all the time, sometimes it's difficult for us to embrace that. And so that's what the ancestors are saying right now. They really want you to embrace that, knowing that that is going to help you become even more cemented in your leadership, because it's those moments when you're goofy and you do silly things that people are like, oh my gosh, I can relate to them. And you might be like, well, but everybody's so busy adulting all the time. Yeah, but when you're watching, comedy, or you're watching something that makes you laugh, what makes you laugh when someone's goofy? Are you thinking like, oh my gosh, they're so stupid they did that? Or are you more or less thinking like, oh, that's hilarious, I wish I could be that free? Because chances are, for you, Pile 2, you're mostly thinking, I wish I could do that so I could be free. Right? And so that's what they're trying to say here. This is where your freedom comes from, is from you really allowing yourself that you are behind closed doors to show up in your leadership abilities. Give people, a silly time, like not a hard time. Like, we don't want to make people feel demeaned. We don't want people to feel bad, right? They're saying what we want you to do though is like, it's okay to sing your silly songs out in public. It's okay to use your silly voices out in public. Like, it's okay for you to tell your dad jokes or your mom jokes out in public. Like, because they're clean, but keep it as professional as you can, but keep it clean, right? But don't be afraid to share that side of yourself, because it's going to take you to a whole nother level here and really help you cement this North Node energy that you're walking in already. Okay, like you're already there and they're so proud of you. Like, I just keep seeing a huge smile, like not creepy, okay? Not creepy, but it's just this big smile. There's an ancestor here that's just, like, wow, you've done such an amazing job and I'm so proud of you. And I just love that you're willing to go this route, All right, so let's get some tarot out and see what they say. Ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 2? What else would you like to say here, ancestors of highest light and love? What messages do you have for pile number 2? Okay, thank you. Ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 2? Okay, what messages do you... Whoa, what was that? Did you see that? There was something that went across the screen. I hope that got caught on video, but I really saw something go across the screen up here. Like, it was like a big white blob that went like that. Like, whoa. Okay, let me start again. Ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 2? Yes, we have the 5 of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, there's like a refusal to change here. Like you bricked yourself in, like I can only be a certain way. Okay, like I can't be a different way. And they're saying, no, like you can wear different hats. You can do different things. Like, and it's not going to take away from who you are, and it's not going to take away from your journey. Okay, so what else would you like to say here? The 10 of Swords. You've become so serious because of your past relationships and connections. Even like maybe you went through some really difficult medical situations that just made you feel like, it's not that you're not grateful for life or grateful for where you're at. I do feel like they are absolutely feeling you have a very grateful heart, but it's just so serious. Like there's just a very serious undertow here that's coming through. Yeah, and they want you to know that opening up to your ability to be fun and to be outrageous, that's what I keep hearing, to be outrageous is actually very strong for you and helps you embrace that leadership energy. We have the Knight of Swords coming out here too. So let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. We have the Four of Cups. Yeah, this is something that's going to help you find balance, but it's like interesting because I heard glutton when I turned this over, and it's interesting here because it's like they're saying don't be a glutton for punishment. That's what I'm hearing. And with you being so serious all the time, you're putting yourself in that gluttony of punishment. Like, this is all I'm able to endure because this is all I have endured. It's just this pain and getting stabbed behind the back, getting hurt, having people argue with me, having to deal with people who are not in a higher vibration, who are constantly negative, trying to break me down, and not you've made progress. Like, you're going from the 10 of Swords to Strength, which is number 11 in my decks. And you have this progress that you're making, but right now with the 5 of Wands in the reverse, not wanting to change, right? That's what it's saying here. The 5 of Wands, when it's in the upright, it's like you've regained balance after everything that's happened. But here it's showing that you don't want to change. It's like I'm refusing to change. And look, we have the Ace of Cups. And why is that? Because so many times in your life, it's been a one-sided love journey, right? It's only one-sided. But look, it's like the past is haunting this lady here. That's what they're saying. Isn't that interesting? I said I saw like a white, like it was literally, it felt like it took up like this much of the screen and it went whew, right across. And so maybe you did see it, maybe you didn't. Like, I see orbs of light quite a bit, actually, and so it could have just been them making themselves present for me. But it's interesting because with that here, it's like they're showing you, like, you're letting things haunt you that aren't actually worth haunting you and causing a lot of anxiety and frustrations and hurt, when you could be bringing in a lot of abundance here by, again, connecting with the inner child. Look at this symbolic energy that's coming through, the little child coming out. Oh my gosh, we've got presents. Remember how exciting Christmas was, your birthday, these things, like remembering those things, remembering how goofy you were when you got a new toy. Like, did you put voices to it as a kid? Did you sing? What was your favorite song as a kid? Like, getting back into these things will help you open up to a new part of your confidence and creativity. Let's see what this card is here. Look, we have the King of Wands in the reverse. And this is interesting. This is self-sabotage. Right? This is self-sabotage. And I love that Stonehenge is up here in the top. Okay, is it just me or is my camera tripping out? Because I swear I see it tripping out. Like, okay. Anyways, they're like making their presence really well known here. It's and the first thing that usually most ancestor spirits, they like manipulate as technology, but not always does my camera catch it, but sometimes it does. Like, I once got fairies moving this humongous piece of rose quartz. I actually caught them moving it on the camera, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was so glad the camera caught that, and it was fairies that were doing that. And the fairies, you might, oh, okay, now I know why they want me to talk about fairies. You might be working really closely with fairies or being asked to. I also got 2 gems outside my door one day from the fairies. Like, they were just right there by my door. It was so weird. It was like someone just placed them there. No one showed up because I have a fence around the yard. And so if anyone shows up, the dogs go nuts. And nope, I let the dogs out and they weren't there. And then I went later and I let the dogs out and there they were on the step. And I was like, whoa, that's next level. So I feel like for them, the fairies energy coming in twice here, they're saying that Working with fairies is going to help you take back that playful, lighthearted energy, because fairies are very mischievous, right? But it's interesting here too, because we have Stonehenge here, and Stonehenge is kind of like a mystery, right? Like, it's like they want you to come back to that mystery of childhood, because everything was a mystery as you're a child. You don't know anything, and you're like, wow, this is cool. Whoa, that's fascinating. Okay, what is that? I don't know about that, but I don't know if I want to know about that. You know what I mean? Like, you're open to experience as a child, and you're not blocking yourself here. But right now there's this huge block that's coming in from allowing you to open to the mysteries. And King of Wands in particular really does talk about self-sabotage in the reverse. And it's because of dealing with someone. Okay, this could be a father, this could be a friend, this could be a brother, this could be a past lover in your life even. Someone who has made you just, they like suck the joy. That's what I'm hearing here. They like suck the joy out of everything. Okay? And through that, you've learned, it's not that you didn't learn something valuable from it. You very much learned how to be resilient and strong and this formidable force, right, in life. But what goes around comes around here, and we see that you're healing your karmic energy here, which is beautiful. But it's like re-tapping into, look at how her dress is like this light shell orange color. It's like re-tapping in, what is that, coral? I heard someone say it. It's coral. Okay, re-tapping into your sacral chakra, and the sacral chakra is play and pleasure are my right. And so that's what it's saying here, and that's where you're really going to find a new sense of strength here. And this is something that they would love, knowing that you're all at different places, but they would love you to rush in like next level. And it's interesting because with this centaur here, I'm also getting Sagittarius vibes. So you could be Pisces. You could be a Pisces, I guess, because it was coming out. You could be a Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, have Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. You could have the 8th house in Leo, Aries, and Sag. You could also have the 10th house in Leo, Aries, and Sag, or the North Node in fire signs, or South Node in fire sign, okay? That's what's coming through right now. But it's interesting because this is what that reminds me of. And for me personally, Sagittarius is like the partier of the zodiac. Like, they're always there for a good time. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. And that's the mentality that they want you to take when it comes to you letting yourself be open to new experiences. But see here, it's like here you blocked yourself off, and here you're trying to fight against it. Like, I don't want to be stuck here anymore, right? I want to find out what's on the other side of the door. Whereas before you were just like, nope, I don't even want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with the past. I don't want to deal with any of that stuff that's haunting me. So I'm just going to close myself off and just be numb. But when we numb ourselves to any emotion, we numb ourselves to every emotion. And so you might be just kind of like floating through life sometimes, just kind of like not even responsive or reactive to much. And there might be some things that make you reactive, some things that might make you responsive, but there's like just kind of like this dull energy that's coming through. It's just numb. And they want you to like rush in. And the Knight of Swords is all about being your own being your own damn hero. And excuse me for the expression, but that's really what it is. It's just about being your hero. You be your knight in shining armor. You be your princess in shining armor. You be your dude, your person, your chick in knight in shining armor. You know, be who you are, but come save yourself. And the only way to save yourself is to reconnect with that part of yourself that's tied directly to the sacral chakra, which would also help enhance your intuitive powers, your intuitive gifts, your psychic abilities, reconnect you to your heart, so that way then moving forward, whatever it is that you wish to put out there as a leader, you're coming from a very genuine, connective place. And it's not that you're not genuine now. They're just saying like you're going to see how much more compassionate as a leader you are, and how much more people are going to respond to you by you integrating this play and pleasure into your life, this fun to be goofy. So we have house 6, establishing a foundation, health, daily life, and practical details. This is something they want you to make a daily habit. Okay, they want you to make this a daily habit. They want you to practice this daily. If it's for 5 minutes, if it's for 10 minutes, if it's for an hour, it doesn't matter. What's one thing that you can, bring back from your childhood that will make you feel good? Is it trains? Is it, action figures? Is it Barbies? Is it, I don't know, like flowers? Is it, hula hoop? Is it roller skates? Is it skateboarding? Is it painting with your fingers, finger painting? Is it making macaroni pictures? Whatever it is. They're saying bring back one thing from your childhood that you really enjoyed and just do that every day. Okay, bring it back into your life because it's going to help you reconnect with your inner child. Like we have North Node coming out again. You're destined to have everything that you're asked for. And you've made such headway on it. And they want to applaud you for that. And they want you to know that they see you for how much you've done. And what they're trying to bring forth is this energy of like, we want you to have it all now, right? And there's just a little tweaks here and there. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. Like we have Leo energy. We want you to be in this creative energy. We see already how confident you are. We see how loyal you are to your journey. But we want you to be in this creative, childlike energy. And that's something that's so powerful for you. And it's not always easy. Sometimes it's easier said than done. But when you become so serious to life, right? Look, the improviser. I effortlessly adapt to deal with unexpected circumstances. This is going to open you up to know how to navigate difficulties coming into your life. This is a transformative time for you. Look, doesn't he look like a fairy? So I also feel like the fairies are present here. And they're saying, hey, we see you. We are working with you. And I just got a tickle in my throat. I feel like maybe it's an instrument that you like to play. Just something that you like to do. Maybe you like to capture butterflies and study them and then let them go. Or whatever it is. It's like you did this as a kid. Now it's time for you to improvise. Right? Do something now that will help you as an adult. And then it's interesting because we have number 41 here. And 41 is number 5, which is a very uncomfortable place of change. And we have 5 here. But that uncomfortable place of change is where the greatest transformation happens. Look at all these butterflies on the outside here. Do you really think that it's comfortable for the caterpillar to turn into complete mush before it turns into a butterfly? No, it just knows that that's the process that it has to go through in order to get there. The past on the bottom. I shine awareness and compassion on my past with number 28. This is the completion of a process for you. And then look, we have this little cherub here. It's almost like talking to the past self here. Recognizing that there's something that's clever, that's clear, that's true there. Shining the light there. And seeing the truth and opening up to that. But again, this innocence. There's this innocence that your ancestors want you to bring in. And we have 44 with traumatized. I acknowledge that I've been traumatized, but also that I am healing. So they recognize that there's a trauma coming through here. They recognize that that's why it's been so hard for you. There's just like you said, with this 10 of Swords energy, it's when in the Tarot Marseille, the 10 of Swords really talks about seeing, it's like your foe, right? And it could be anybody. It could be a family member, a friend. It could just be an acquaintance. It could be a past lover, past relationship. But when you say a foe, you're saying that this is a foe that is equally matched to you. So for as much as you are light, this person is in the shadow. And it's like no matter what you do, it's exhausting. It's overwhelming. And they can always beat you down as much as you beat them down. Right? It's like you're trying to protect yourself. 22 on the clock for pile number 2. You're trying to protect yourself from this situation, and you're doing that, but at the same time, they're equally so in this energy trying to protect themselves from you. And it might not seem like it at the time, but it's like that's the dualistic nature of it. And so there's a huge betrayal here. And that's what's at the heart of your reading, showing that this is something that's leaving you in a self-sabotaging energy because you're trying to still walk on eggshells when it comes to this memory, when it comes to this situation. It does feel like it's pretty recent. You know, I would say like in the last 10 months to 3 years is what this feels like. It could be longer than that. Could even be up as far as a decade. But really, this does feel something that's more recent that's going on, that it's like left you numb. And then we have, look, number 37 with 10 again. We have intuition with cat, and this directly connects with our sacral chakra. Goddess Bastet is such a beautiful energy to work with. In fact, when I was healing my own sacral chakra, I had great experiences calling her energy in and connecting with that cat-like energy. Like, cats love to play, right? Cats love to have a good time. Like, bring out a feather on a string. You have made a best friend for the time that they're going to play with it until they're done playing with it. And then you almost forgot they were your best friend, right? But that's what it really feels like. It's like you haven't found anything that has captivated your interest in the way of setting that fire in the sacral chakra to help you open that up and to heal from those hurts and those heartbreaks of the past. But this is where you're going to find true happiness with Dolphin here. Okay, we have number 42, which is 6. And 6 is all about balance, harmony, resolution, solution, seeing yourself through eyes of divine, unconditional love. And so when you embrace that and you embody that, you're going to feel much more free about who you are. And you're going to be feeling again. I feel like that's the main thing that they want here, is they want you to feel again. Everything. They don't want you to be numb to all the experiences that you're having, because if you're numb, you're not experiencing the whole of it. To be human is to have sorrows, to have joys. If we're like, I don't ever want to feel sorrow again, we're saying that we never want to feel joy again. And that's why we become so numb and distant and disconnected. Yeah, karma, DNA. See, this is something that's been in your DNA. This is something that's karmically dealing with. We said that earlier with the strength card, showing that you are healing karma. You've done a great job. Okay, you've done an amazing job. But they want you to move beyond just the healing, and they want you to reconnect with the truth of who you are. Feels like it's about to rain here too, so let's grab a shadow aspect here for this reading. Ancestors of highest light and love, thank you, lost. You feel like you've been abandoned, but there is a deeper connection coming. And I feel like this is a deeper connection, not only with your ancestors, but equally so with yourself. Okay, with yourself. This is something that's coming in. You've been walking around in the woods, like, I don't know where I'm going, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I know I'm leading people, I know I'm helping people, I know that I'm here making progress, but I just feel so disconnected from myself and from where it is that I want to be at. I want to be happy and I want to have good feelings, and so what's really going on here. You're intuitive. You have this incredible ability to know what you need to do, but there's this lost connection between you and the sacral chakra. And I feel like if you were to take a look at the alignment in your chakra chart, like, the easiest way to do this, they call it's kinesiology. And so if you go and you put your fingers together like this and you say a statement like, my sacral chakra is open and aligned, and when you pull apart, okay, you should be able to hold your fingers there, but if your fingers come apart like this, okay, and you'll be surprised because you'll keep doing it and they'll keep popping apart like this, then it's saying, okay, no, there's a misalignment here. Okay, like, so that's the easiest way to test it right now, and you can do that for all of your chakras. Kinesiology is something that's been in my own life for a long time, and when I started dealing with chakra alignment myself, it was something that came back up, and I thought that was so unique. It's a very old way to test for certain things. If you've ever been to a chiropractor, you'll know, because a lot of chiropractors use the kinesiology test. But yeah, I would say do that. You can test that really quick right now, and if your fingers break apart, then that's just confirming that this is what they're wanting you to do. Or also do that for your heart chakra as well. But just if you really want, start with the root chakra, the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown chakra. Or you can also say their Sanskrit names if you know those as well. We have long road. You have a long way to go before you find what you want, but the journey helps you grow. So look, interesting. Look, it's like finding the road, finding the path again. Very interesting here. It's like once you begin to connect with yourself here, you're going to find the path again. And it's just, it might feel disheartening that there's still a long way to go, but you're going to be feeling better about yourself as well, more aligned and more in tune with who you are. Okay? So this is what I see for you, pile number 2. If you feel like this is your reading, leave a little cat emoji down below and say, I choose to make play and pleasure a priority in my life so that I can reconnect with my abilities and gifts. And it would mean so much to me if you left me a thumbs up, if you commented and subscribed to the channel. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links below in the description box in order to do so. You can follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio on Spotify. And even so, you can become a member of the channel. And I would love to see you on memberships. But if not, thank you for your continued support here. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and leave it here and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your ancestors of highest light and love, your spirit messengers, source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of lapis lazuli, or if you were drawn to this deck, then this is going to be your pile on special messages from your ancestors. I do want to say thank you so much to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey, this channel, this ever-growing tribe. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving self. Should this message happen to resonate, it would mean so much if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And with that being said, let's hop to it and find out what are the ancestor special messages of highest light and love for pile number 3. So ancestors of highest light and love, what special messages do you have for pile number 3? Ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 3? Okay. So just a second here. This fell. Let me put that over there. Hopefully it'll stay. Got a cord that I don't want in the way. We've got Capricorn, 10th house, and Mars energy. Interesting. So we are talking directly about your finances, your job, your career. Okay. Taking that initiative in regards to your career and your finances, your business, okay? Your fame, your fortune, your ability to be seen and recognized here, accolades coming in. They're showing here that they see you as this incredible hard worker. And that sometimes, though, you put yourself in the line of being in competition with some other people. I actually feel this energy coming through that it's not you putting yourself in competition with people who actually have the same position as you. It's just like people who maybe do things differently than you, and you're always in competition because maybe they try to impress upon you that it's this way or it's that way. And you're over there like, no, it's multiple ways. And then suddenly it becomes internally like a competition. Like you're not trying to make it that way, but it's just like an old trigger that's being brought up. And the triggers have been like the overall theme of these readings today. They've all been different. But this does feel like a competitive trigger that's coming out where it's like someone's saying something about the way you're showing up, in particular to your job, your position, your business, your career, whatever it is that you're building, that you're putting your time. This could even be something that you're doing on the side that hopefully will turn into a career later. And it's like people just have something to say about it. And so there's that like negative energy that's coming over it, and also that negative energy of comparison coming through here. Yeah. And they're saying that there's no need to compare, especially if someone's not even doing what you're doing. Like there's no reason to compare what you're doing based on what they're saying. And it's like, you know that, But sometimes knowing it and being in that energy are two completely different things, right? They're not the same thing. Sometimes they're very, very different. Sometimes it's very challenging for us to show up in that responsive energy instead of being reactive, especially when we're getting triggered. Like, that's the journey, right? The obstacles are the journey. That's what life is. It's like we want a journey that's free of obstacles, but if we had a journey that was free of obstacles, we would never grow, because there'd be nothing to grow from. But the obstacles themselves are the journey itself, and that's what they're showing here. It's like they're seeing you learning, they're seeing you growing, they're seeing you put forth this incredible effort for yourself, and they're proud of you, and they're proud that you continue to show up, and you're trying to build something of sustenance here. It's like, I want something that's stable, that's foundational, that is, very different than what I've had before, or different than what people have had in my life, people who are my family. Like, no one has this particular position that you have, or this job, or this career, or this business. Yeah. And so it's kind of difficult when someone's telling you exactly what to do when they don't know, right? And so that's what they're saying. Like, there's no competition. It's kind of one of those things, like, don't take advice from someone that doesn't live the life that you're living. However, that's almost in every case, 99.9% of the time, way easier said than done, right? And that's okay. That's okay. That's why we call it practice. And so they don't want you to get down on yourself here for taking initiative. You've taken initiative for yourself. You've done an incredible job. Okay, you've done so much for yourself. You've moved up. You've become well known. You have become something more than what you once were, and you're making progress and headway here. It's like, I keep seeing someone who's blazing a path, like you're blazing a trail. On the trail we blaze. Okay, El Dorado. Yeah, so anyways, you're on the path to finding your El Dorado, and that's going to be different than everyone else's El Dorado. And who cares? Like, you feel that way too. You're like, I don't care about it. And that's right, you don't. However, there's something that someone has said recently, or there's something that like a group of people say, like a very similar thing, and this one particular thing just really irks you. It's like, I'll show them. Yeah, they think I can't do it this way. They think I can't do it my way. And they're saying that that's what we want you to focus on, is not being in that competitive streak when someone says it this way. Because you're doing something that is very unique to you, and we want you to be in that very unique energy. And so it's interesting that we don't have Aquarius energy here, because that's definitely Aquarian energy. So you could be an Aquarius sun. I'm also hearing Aquarius 10th house, Aquarius North Node, and Aquarius 6th house. Okay, just go with that. Okay, I don't know. So we're just going to go with it. But let's get some tarot out on it and find out some more about what the ancestors of highest light and love have for you, pile 3. So ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 3? What special messages do you have for pile number 3? What more would you like to say, ancestors of highest light and love? What more would you like to say here, ancestors of highest light and love? What messages do you have for pile number 3? Okay. What messages do you have for pile number 3, ancestors of highest light and love? Thank you. Okay. What would you like to say to pile number 3? What special messages, ancestors of highest light and love, do you have for pile 3? Yeah. So we've got temperance. Temperance is all about not healing. It's just like one aspect, though. That's really what it feels like here. Not wanting to heal. It's almost like this is kind of the addiction. It's like, this is where I get the thrill from. Right? This one trigger is where I get thrill in my life. Yeah. And it's somebody that doesn't even have something to offer you. Like, this is interesting. What else would you like to say here, ancestors of highest light and love? Whoa. Okay, I guess we'll take it. So, yeah, this is something you need to look into. This is something that causes a lot of actual anxiety and fear in your energy. And they don't want you to be in that, because to be in a high vibration means to be able to face these things, right? This is like right at the forefront, though. This is something that happened recently. This is interesting energy. Yeah, okay, and we have the Nine of Swords here. This is a red flag. This is a red flag here. They're saying this is a red flag we want you to shine light on. And we don't want you to feel so insecure with the Four of Coins here in the reverse, you know, because this isn't exactly what you think it might be. So this could be a partnership or potential partnership that's coming in, but it's not. It's not. Yeah, it's not. It's to basically light a fire under your rear end so that you can overcome. And this is help by source coming in. This is someone who's very overbearing. This could be a Capricorn that's coming in, that's very overbearing here, wants things done a certain, wow, this is really a strong message. This is a really strong message here. This is a Capricorn that wants things done as a particular way. Maybe you had a very overbearing mother, or someone who in your life, like maybe competing with a sibling, someone who was always going to step on your toes to get ahead, like took credit for the things that you did, or someone at work that's taking credit for the things that you did. Or this is someone coming in trying to deter you from the way that you're doing things, saying like, oh, I'm the one who made them successful. Like this is someone who wants to take credit for the hard work that you've done, okay? Because they see your potential. They see how amazing you are. But I do feel like they are coming in as a potential relationship. So that could be a love relationship, an acquaintance, a friendship. Relationships aren't always love. But it is very one-sided here. And there's a lot of disappointment as well that's going to be made clear to you as you move on. But what we want you to see the most of is that there's a lot of red flags that are being made apparent here. But the anger, I keep wanting to say that the anger that came from what this one person has said, or what this group of people has said to you, is overshadowing their red flags, right? It's like you're in this anger, and this deep anger, and this really overwhelming anger, and it's like that's what's keeping you from seeing this person in the energy that they're really in. Like they're not here for your betterment, they're here as an obstacle for you to overcome. And let's see what this is. Yeah, exactly. This is so, like, the ancestors are like, you know exactly who this is. You've known who this was. You knew their intention when they came in, but they still triggered you. You know what? No matter how intuitive we become, we're still human, and you're allowed to be human. You're allowed to be human. You're allowed to have those moments that exactly like this. Like my anger got the best of me. My trigger got the best of me. Like you're allowed to have that. Okay. Like and that's, your ancestors are not here like shame on you. No. They're just like, they're over here like, hey, we get it. We get why you're mad at this person. We also understand that there's something more that you're learning about this. This person has so little to give you. They think that they're the bee's knees. Okay, this person thinks that they are the bee's knees, that everything that they have is gold, that everything they touch is gold. But I feel like this person is actually just a bottom of the totem pole type person. Like they don't actually have it as good as they're trying to paint it out. Okay? Like this is someone who is afraid that if you actually saw them, wow, this is next level. If you actually saw how low they were, like they couldn't take the rejection of you nor the knowledge that you have. Like they can't take that, okay? This is emotional preoccupation that they have with themselves. They want to be seen by you in a different light because you are this bright, shining person who's come so far by yourself, and you have so much going on for you, and your story is vast and expansive and deep, and you're a deep person. You're different from anyone that they've ever met before, and that's what it feels like here. And it's like they want to have you in their lives for selfish purpose. They don't actually want to bring any value to your life. They want you to bring the value to their lives, and you already do, because you're a valuable person. You know your worth, right? And it's almost like you're like, why am I so mad at this person? I'm going to tell you, with the 8 of Wands right here, there's this energy of not wanting to be controlled. Like, you've gone through enough in your life where people have tried to control the outcome of your life. It's your life to live. You get that. And usually that doesn't bother you. Like, usually if someone comes in and they're like, oh, you know, X to the Y to the Z, and you're like, oh, that's nice because I'm A to the B to the C. So what do you want of it? And that's you, you know, like, you're like, that's cool. That's you. This is me. But this energy right here, for some reason, has triggered you. And I'm going to tell you, it really reminds you of someone from your childhood. So whether that is a friend from your childhood, whether that is a relationship from your childhood, whether that's like a parent or a sibling, it was someone from your childhood that was constantly looking over your shoulder, like trying to redirect you away from what it was that you wanted, saying like, oh, I have it better, but they had nothing. And that's exactly what this is. This is a person they want you to be aware of. Oh, this feels so weird. Like, this is not a happy energy. Like, this person tries to paint themselves as someone that they're not. Okay, like, it's not that they're not a good energy, but they just don't have good intentions for you because they've never met someone like you. So they like don't have a clear indication of who you are. They're thinking in terms of their own past achievements or their missed opportunities. And they're like, well, I don't want you to miss an opportunity. And it's not actually even like that. They don't want to miss the opportunity to tell you how to do something so that they can take credit for it. That's exactly what this is. Like, oh, this is such a weird energy. And that's what your ancestors are saying. Like, you've worked so hard and come so far. Why are you going to let this page in reverse, right? Why are you going to let this page in reverse even hold a candle to you being both the Hermit and the Popess here? You're someone who thrives in shadow work with the Hermit here. Also, even with the Popess here, like, you're someone who thrives in the mystery. At the bottom of the barrel stuff. The stuff that people throw away, you're like, that's my stuff. Give me that stuff. Let me look at that. Let me shift through that. Because I know there's nuggets of gold inside of there that people are just dismissing because it's in the sludge. Right? You thrive in the darkness. You thrive in that energy. And it's like, you've learned so much by scouring the darkness and letting your light shine. The candle just went out. Exactly. This person's candle went out a long time ago. Okay, like, they just don't have it like that. I feel like they really are good at painting a picture that doesn't exist. This is someone who's really good at painting a very good picture that doesn't exist. And you're on this quest for truth and understanding, for spiritual well-being. And you're concentrating on your clear purpose. Like, isn't that interesting? This person doesn't have his clear purpose, but here you are concentrating on a clear purpose. Like, you know exactly what you want. And your ancestors are showing you, like, we brought you here for purpose. You're at the center of the reading here. They're not. You are. You're at the center of the reading. And this is the silliest thing here. No beef, right? Because I've been here too. The silliest thing here. In fact, this is, you know how sometimes like the readings will even resonate with the tarot readers. So that's just part of it, right? That's part of it. They use a lot of our experience to help with you and understanding the message. And sometimes it has nothing to do with our experience. But the thing is that it's like you've already seen this. Like you know you are lighting this up, but for some reason you're not shining the light on it. Right? For some reason, with the sun here, for some reason, you're not shining the light on it here. Like, it's like, I don't know if it's just like, you're just in your emotional ego, like, oh, let's just play this game one more time, which happens. You know, it happens. It's cool. There's no reason to be mad. There's no reason to be upset. You know, that's just sometimes we get bored. Sometimes we're like, well, we just need a little bit of excitement in our life. But then the minute the excitement comes in and the anger came up, you were like, whoa, hold on. I didn't need this kind of excitement in my life. And, you know, it's kind of like Source and your ancestors saying, but you wanted excitement. And you're like, yeah, but I didn't want that kind of excitement. They said, well, you know, it was a roulette. So you threw the ball and it landed where it landed. And it wasn't on black. It was on red. And guess what came with it? Was some anger. So, you know, like, that's the excitement that you wanted. You're like, okay, I take it back. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Let me give that back to you. Like, let me figure. And that's the thing. Like, they just want you to know that, like, you don't have to keep entertaining this. Like, you don't have to keep entertaining this. You know your truth. You know exactly where you look. You on your path of purpose. You have a clear purpose here. You're very wise. You're very intelligent. You're very unique in the way that your wisdom outshines your being. Like, it's like, you walk into a room and people are like, oh my gosh, pile number 3 knows what's going on. And you're probably over there like, I don't have a clue. But that's not the energy that you give off. Like, the energy that you give off is very strong. It's very profound. You're very balanced. You're very kind. You are someone who's incredibly strong, and you're mysterious, and you're impossible to get to know. And I feel like that's why it's like this person is coming in like with this energy of like, oh, well, if I treat them like this, then they're gonna let me get to know them. And this person is like largely a roadblock on your journey. They're just being a roadblock for you. Like, that's really what's going on here. They're just blocking the passage. And you know that. Like, this is not news. I feel like this is absolutely confirming your intuition. You know, like, you've intuitively known this. This person's kind of playing at, it feels like it could be a relationship, or it could just be a partnership, a friendship. And it's like, yeah, I'll be your friend. You know, I'll come in like that. And you're like, wait, do I really want this even in my life? Like, is this something that I'm actually wanting or what? And it's like, you're actually even questioning. It's just like, you're already on this journey of seeking the truth here. Yeah, dream and transcends. You're recognizing the illusions of this person. You're recognizing the illusions that they brought in. So you're being brought clarity, but your ancestors want to confirm this for you because they feel like you're that one person that, like, unless I get confirmation, I'm not going to take action. It's like, I know intuitively what's good. I'm very intuitive, but, you know, sometimes someone who's psychic and intuitive still needs confirmation, you know, because, shoot, our intuition can kind of lead us down a crazy road, too. And so it's like, well, I thought I was following my intuition here, but now I see what it is. And you've known that. You've known that all along. You read way too much into this situation right off the bat. You were completely aware of this person's, and I feel like that's why the anger came out so strong, because I feel like intuitively, like, you heard the little voice inside say exactly how this person was going to treat you, and it's coming out exactly like that. And you're like, I just knew. Like, why did I follow this? Like, why did I do this? And they're just saying, don't be mad. Like, your ancestors just want you to don't be mad. We're here. We got you. We're just redirecting you. It's all right. Yeah. Right? You're too confident, you're too optimistic, you're too passionate and brave for this person. Like, you're next level, okay? You're very next level here. You could have come from one of the other readings as well. And as always, if you watched all 3 readings, leave a purple heart down below. That's the Purple Heart Club. And just say I made it. I know what that means. And I thank you so much. Look at this. We have Goddess Mott here, carrying this basket of jewels on her head. Here's the thing, like, this person has spotted you from a mile away, knowing your capabilities, knowing who you are, and they almost, like, want to make you feel less than so that they can make a point and take credit for you. 22:22 on the clock. It's like this energy, it's like, I'm better than you, even though in reality, you're far more advanced than they are. Okay, it's not better, it's not worse. You're just far more advanced on the journey than they are. And so, but this person's very much making it an ego thing. Like, anything you can do, I can do better. Anything you can do, what is it? I can do better than you. Like, that's exactly the energy here. And you're just this peaceful person minding your own business. Like, living your best life. Okay? I'm on the good life. I don't know what they're doing. I'm on the good life. And they're like, oh, I want what pile 3 has. And so they're trying to come in and create chaos. Look, we have the benefactor. I enjoy life now as I take steps to realize my new tomorrow. And that's exactly what you do too. The duality. It's like sometimes we need the duality to come up in life here. And it is, but if you notice the Popess is a number 2. She's also been called the High Priestess here, but this is Pope Joan. And if you don't know the story about Pope Joan, she's the only female pope, but she ended up getting stoned to death because they found out that she was a woman because she had a child. And so it's a very traumatic story. It just really is sad, even though she was incredibly wise and they knew that they were doing something good by electing her as a pope. And so there's this energy that's coming in. It's like, that's what it is. It's like they recognize your wisdom, but they don't want to put you in your rightful place as that leader, especially not in their life, because this is someone coming in saying, I know better than you. But look, how are you going to compare Page energy to the Popess? And how are you ever going to compare Page energy to the Hermit? Like, they just don't and the Page of Coins, nonetheless. This is someone who is only fascinated by the potential investments that you can bring into their lives. That was so clear. The loner. I enjoy being alone and getting in touch with my true feelings. And here's you. This is your energy, and that's okay. Look, and the intuitive. I tune into the energy of those I care about, but you're very intuitive. You're a loner. The ship has sailed, like your star. Don't let them get in the way of what is already coming to you and making you feel like you're not doing enough or like you're not doing it right. Because your ancestors are coming in like, biznatch, please. Okay? You're doing it. You're doing everything you need to be doing. You're doing the right thing. We've got stability here with Sea Turtle, the inner child. You're healing your inner child. You found stability. This is a karmic cycle for you that you are shining a light on. And then we have equality here with Seahorse and number 14, which is 5. There's somebody else here that is going to be your equal. You're just not seeing them yet. Okay, like you're focused on this turmoil here that's being brought up. There's someone else here in your energy that is far more fit to be in your energy, who's on a very similar journey, who has a very similar energy to you, soul tribe energy, but also your ancestors showing you like we're leading you down the path to El Dorado, right? Yeah, it has to do with the way you work. Very clear here. They're being very clear with Beaver work here. This is something about the way that you work. They have definitely touched a sensitive topic, I would say. Okay, and that's okay. Look, solitude. Solitude and the loner. Like, hello. Right? And solitude, this is not isolation. This is not isolation. This is just, they're saying, like, it's okay for you to be in solitude right now. Like, don't trip, chocolate chip. There's a reason we've got you in solitude right now. There's someone else that's going to come in that's going to treat you as their equal. And it's like this person's really good at putting on face, right? But there are some things that have slipped. It's like intuitively you've already known the red flags that have come through with the 9 of Swords here in the reverse. Really just on its base level is red flags. Like, let's just make it simple. It's red flags. That's what it is, right? Shining a light on those red flags, though. I mean, it obviously has a much deeper meaning than that, but like if we were just to simplify it, that's what it means. It's the red flags. And then you have number 9 here with the loner. It's like saying, you know what, forget their red flags. Let them figure that out. They've got more to learn on their journey. It's okay because you enjoy being in this solitude energy. You enjoy being a loner. It's just sometimes the lone wolf has to be the lone wolf for a while, right? No, I did not know that was on the bottom, I swear. I had the deck up against my chest, and I was just saying, sometimes the lone wolf. Whoa. I need a minute. Like, I'm sorry, I just hit the camera. Like, literally, I'm tripped out right now. Holy moly. The lone wolf, and we've got the wolf on the bottom. I can't. I'm just going to leave that there. Like that. I'm not even going to touch it, because... what, like, that, no. No, thank you, ancestors. Thank you. Let's just get a shadow aspect coming through here. Alright, let's take a look at the bottom of this deck. Needs. If emotional needs aren't being met, it's time to reassess. Touch is important, too. And what you want, what your heart wants matters, right? What you need matters. More than just wanting, what you need matters. And I feel like this person's not really giving you what you need. drowning. You are going under, barely keeping things afloat. Ask for help. Your ancestors are here to help you out of this situation. Like, this is next level. I can't with this wolf card. Like, that's next. Look, shaman, ancient healing wisdom. So we already have the ancestors coming in here with shaman. And they want you to go into sanctuary here to heal yourself, to release that which is keeping you stuck from finding your strength. And they want you to go back into this place of nurturing yourself. Why? Because this is a karmic situation that's keeping you from changing. When you effortlessly connect and you're very vulnerable and open, it's time for you to reflect and to focus on bringing in your blessings. Like, let's just be real. This is my very first ever Oracle deck, was this deck. And it's just been incredible. This is the one deck. It's like not the coolest deck, but it is the coolest deck. So yeah, they want you to really listen to your intuition here, your instinct. You've got a lot going on, but it's very important for you to pour into what has your attention here so that you can call in who's meant to be there. And I feel like this person reached out to you, and that's why it feels like this person's meant to be here. But, you know, new levels, new devils. And I'm not saying they're a devil. I'm just saying, like, to remember that. Like, sometimes you glow up, and when you're glowing up, there's always going to be someone who wants to bring you under. Okay? I wish that weren't true, but that's life. That's the dualistic nature in life, okay? This is actually a very incredible reading, and I'm so grateful that it was you, pile 3, that had this. But if you feel like this is your reading, leave a little wolf emoji down below and say, because I'm glowing up, I know I'm calling in those that are meant to be here for me and with me, who are my equals, and I'm okay being a loner. It would mean so much to me if you left a thumbs up down below, if you commented and subscribed to the channel. And if you are looking to support the channel further, you'll find all those links below in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to Spotify, my podcast at Scatterlove Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships. But if not, thank you for your continued support here. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here and leave it there. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your ancestors of highest light and love, your spirit messenger source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this absolutely phenomenal message. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.